Hello there, folks, and welcome to another installment of Talk Freely. Yay! So today, I got a new weed as usual, and I think you might be impressed by this one. But before we get started, I ask that you please subscribe, give me a like, thumbs up, share, and come and check out some of our merch at www.tokefreelytogear.store. So tokefreely togear is one word, then .store. And I got some new items up there that you're probably going to see flashing across your Facebook and Instagram in a minute. What else? Oh, okay. I've been telling people that I had a PayPal. It's not PayPal. It's Cash App. So if you were looking for a PayPal, excuse me, I was wrong. I was saying the wrong thing again. It's a Cash App, and it's $ Talk Freely. It's not, and the T is not capitalized, and that's all it is. $ Talk Freely. So if you'd like to donate, help us out on our channel, help us on our journey to it really, bring the whole world to understanding more about marijuana and the likes and dislikes about it, because I've been seeing a lot of stuff about it. Don't forget to check out my other shows with Soul Town with Country Mysteries and New Way to Do It, which I am recording some shows as we speak, folks. So some new shows of New Way to Do It will be there. As far as Soul Time, Country is trying to catch up on a lot of work. He's behind on work, and his truckers' strike is not helping. And so he's got his hands full right now. So we may have to put Soul Time on hiatus for a minute. I think that's a little loud. Yeah, that is a little loud. All right, that's better. So we have to put Soul Time on hiatus. I am not sure we come back to it. He claims he wants to come back to it in April, so we'll see come April, folks. But until then, you guys can enjoy some New Way to Do It and Talk Freely. So today, the name of our weed it's called Cosmetic Candy. That's the name. Did I put my finger on there? Let me do this correctly. Okay. Is that better? Cosmetic Candy. Okay. And to be honest, folks, I did smoke some early this morning, because I got it in late last night. I didn't get a chance to smoke any. I was working and I got tired and I fell asleep. So I smoked me one this morning. But I'm going to let you guys take a look at the weed so you can see. It's really, I'll let you see for yourself. Okay. There we go. See the different colors in there and everything? This would be a good picture right there. Okay. So, the thing about this weed is, well, let me smell it first. Okay. It's got a familiar and unfamiliar smell. Some smells are familiar. I've smelled those smells before, but it has something different about it. It has I don't know. You ever smelled like a pine tree when it's first cut down, and you get that loud smell of pine in your house or around you and stuff? It kind of smells like that, except it don't smell like pine, but it reminds you of that smell. You understand? It reminds you of that kind of loud but subtle pine smell, that's unmistakable. Now, I have to admit, I've never smelled anything like this before. Like I said, it's certain elements in here that smells familiar, but there's certain elements in here that I can't make out what it is, folks. So, but I would say the overall smell is intriguing. It's very interesting. I wouldn't say it's good or bad, but it's interesting. It's not a horrible smell or anything like that. Just a very unique smell. Very, very piney to me. You know what I'm saying? It don't smell like pine, but it reminds you of that pine smell, if that's possible. Okay, so today You know, I have my joint rolled, and we're going to get to smoking right away because I'm not going to waste a lot of you folks' time today because I know it's precious. And even though today is a lazy day, see, I can't prepare today. I got a towel. So I know this is a lazy day for a lot of people, and for a lot of people, it's a very religious day. And so I don't want to seem blasphemous because, like I said before, I have my own thoughts about marijuana. Oh, I want to give my condolences to my cousin Joseph. He lost his daughter a couple of days ago. She was having complications, really, I heard throughout her whole life. And I didn't know that, but she was a very young girl, early 40s, I think they said she was in. And I wish I was closer to her. We got such a huge family, but we should be, I'm saying this to my family that watch. We should be closer because, we done lost like 3 family members in less than a year. So, it's time for us to, whatever, grudges that we got and, developed over the years that we have nothing to do with, it's time to quell those because life is too short, man. Life is too short. And Joe, we call him Junior. Man, I am so sorry for your loss. I know that was his only daughter, his only child. So I know it's devastating for him, man. You have my condolences, my love, and if you need me, man, I'm there. All you have to do is call. So, getting ready to gloom and the doom, okay, But those things that we all, when you start getting like my age in your 50s and 60s and stuff like that, people going to die, and we call ourselves, facing that reality, when the day comes. But it's something that even if you expect it, it's unexpected. You understand what I'm saying? You could be on your deathbed and you want to live, but you die. So life is so precious and so short, that we have to take advantage of it in any way we can. Because we're only here for a minute, man, So, off of that. So, to the weed. All right. Like I said before, I forgot to tell you, it had a ton of colors in it. I forgot to tell you that. It's got some green, like a dark color red, and a lot of blonde. It's like a heavy dark green and then a light green, then some red speckles and some blonde speckles, and that unique smell. I call it unique. All right, so which end I want? This is my second joint, but my first toke of the show. And I know from smoking it earlier, it's going to make you cough. Excuse me. Now, I got this weed, from my boys, I hadn't been coming around for a while, and I've been going to, I told you I have so many sources. I have everybody love my money. But I have about maybe 6 people that I go to. 6 men, and now I got a female. And I got this from her. And it's called Cosmetic Candy. That's the actual name, Cosmetic Candy. And I'm recording! And sorry about that. I have dealt with her before, but it's only when I was desperate and stuff. And I wasn't desperate this time. She had text me and called me up, because everybody know I do the show. And then she asked me, did I need something new and different for the show? I told her, always. I always need something. I don't want to have the same thing twice, ever on the show, ever. If I can help it. But after, because like I said, last night I got it, and I was working and doing so much crap that I end up sitting right here falling asleep. So, and I stayed up to like maybe 4 in the morning, close to 5 in the morning. And so when I finally went to bed, I was like, I don't want to smoke nothing. I just want to get into bed because had fell asleep, got up, woke up, and got to bed. So, but when I got up this morning after I did my little daily routine, I sat down and I smoked me a joint. And I have to say, excuse me, see, it still got me coughing. And I blew and coughed and everything before I came on the show just so I wouldn't do all this. But when I smoked the joint this morning, it had such a hard kick on it. I was like, damn, and I put half of it out. I was like, whoa, maybe it's my lungs wasn't ready or whatever. So when I went back to the other half of it, it was still the same. So this weed here. Oh, and I have to tell you, I did a show on the weed that was supposed to come out Saturday. They wait till Friday to tell me I did a copyright infringement. So I just pulled the whole video down because I look at it this way. If I'm not going to make no money, ain't nobody else going to make no money. Okay? But the name of the weed was called Trifecta. And I still may put it up. I may just have to dub over that music, because I still have it on my computer. But I took it down from YouTube. But the name of that weed was called Trifecta. And it got a 74, which is a good, but to me, it was actually a little bit better than the score I gave it. And I would suggest people go get it because the thing about that weed, it was very mild and the high snuck up on you. When you think, because I was like, ain't really nothing happening. I'm not, I was sitting around and I was like, wait a second. Had a really, really good, not a buzz, a really good high going on. Excuse me, folks. Got the camera this time. I knew that was going to happen. I tried to prepare for it, but you just can't prepare for that. Okay. Because every time I smoke weed of this quality, it seems like all weed do it now, Hopefully ain't no tumor up there, but anyway. As I was saying, the weed hit me so hard. And it was so potent to me, Oh, no, I mean the trifecta. The trifecta snuck up on you. So when you didn't think it does much. Now, it had a really good taste to it. I think I gave it on taste I gave it an 8. On the smell I gave it an 8. And the flavor, the texture I gave a 9. And on buzz and high I gave a 7. So it really didn't do outstanding on the scores. But for a 74, to me, okay, this is just to me, for a 74, that's decent enough weed to go out and buy again, okay? It just was, for me personally, it didn't have that kick that I liked in weed, okay? But this, and so if you run across some weed called trap, because it's 3 different weeds, okay? It's, damn, I had it on show. It's cookies and cream, gorilla cookies, and ice cream cake. It's those 3 combined. It's those 3 combined. And the flavor was kind of funky. It wasn't enough to really throw you off the weed, but the combination of all 3 of those, it wasn't really fitting that well. It was okay, but it that should have came together like a symphony, but it sort of was a rock and roll band. You understand what I'm saying? A little rough and rudgy around the edge, But I still would recommend it. It got a 74. And a 75 is very good. So a 74 is good. Right. A 74 is good. So try it. You might like it. You might think more of it than I do. Excuse me. So, but today we're doing the cosmetic candy. Okay. And I have to say, so far, this much into the weed, already got a good buzz going on. So, folks, what's going on in the world? Let's see. More relationship stuff. You can't get enough of that. Let's see. Oh, the thing about Hillary Clinton. You see the thing about Hillary Clinton? They talking about they're going to bring that broad to justice. All you people that is staunch Democrats and was before Obama and stuff like that, I'm not going to really criticize you because I was never an Obama fan, even though I voted for him. You know, like I was telling people, I got caught up in that first 4 years of him. You know, a black president. You know, we never had one. Well, at least they saying we never had one. But I saw this interesting documentary last night. They claim 11. Well, this documentary is claiming that Abraham Lincoln was actually a black man. You know, I don't know, but it was very intriguing. And I have heard that throughout my whole life, you know, by me coming up around Hispanic people and stuff like that. I used to know this old Mexican guy. And he said his father told him that Abraham Lincoln was the first black president. You know, and I said to myself, you know, if he was a black man, he was mulatto. You know, because if you look at his hair and his skin and stuff like that, his skin was dark. But he had the characteristic of a white man to me, you know. I mean, even though some mulatto people have those characteristics too, you know. But if he was truly the first black president, it seemed like black people should be able to use that to their advantage. I guess black people don't believe he was the first black president. And if you look at the times, you know, because you know it's well established, well known that black men, you know, created the Republican Party, you know, and a lot of you Democrats, y'all don't understand that the Democratic Party, you know, was the one that did this, you know, the hanging and the Jim Crow shit and, you know, segregation and stuff. I'm not going to say Republicans didn't do it either, because they did, you know. It was just as many Republicans and white Republicans and white Democrats that was in the Klan. Just as many of them. They might not have agreed on social issues, but when it came to killing niggas, nobody had a problem with that. Hey, Bob, we're going to kill some niggas? Well, technically, I'm not supposed to because I'm a Republican. But hell yeah, what the hell? I seen a couple of moonies down the street. We can take them out real fast. You know. And I keep seeing like a lot of videos about police brutality. Let me say something about that. And I'm the last person to defend the police. Believe me, I'm the last person. Because I think it's a rotten organization. It's rotten to the core and it's filled with racism and bigotry and nepotism. But I'm going to say this. Sometimes these kids out here need police whoop their ass. Because I've seen some, I said sometimes. Okay, so remember that word I said? I said sometimes. Because some of these kids, you know, and before I say that, in some cases, the police just out of hand. They see a black person and they know they can take advantage of it. They know they won't get, you know, any too much repercussions, you know, on it. So yeah, they do that. So anybody who has that argument, there's no argument. You know, you win. But there are some of these kids out here, and they all colors, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, you know, they just a terror to the society, man. They're a terror to the neighborhood, they're a terror to a lot of them to their own family, you know. And everybody keeps ignoring it, and look where it's gotten us. You know, I was watching a show today, I can't think of the name of the show. But it's usually these 3 or 4 brothers with these 3 or 4 chicks, and they discuss. The guy with glasses, dark skin, little something, L something, or something like that. Got to do on there called Chicago and all that kind of shit. So some of you may know the show, you know. And they had this guest on there. I don't know when the show was done, but I just saw it earlier today. And the guy was saying that black culture. Basically, he was saying black culture is a menace to society. Not only is it a menace to society, it's a menace to other black people, because I guess he looks at it that's, you know, the majority of whites, you know, they lump us all together, you know, and they see different aspects of us, you know, but no matter the different aspects that they see of us, they still kind of, you know, lump us into the same group, you know, like we're monolithic. And I don't know why they think that. Think maybe they think that because we're all black people, and I guess they think all black people, you know, by color is just monolithic. But he was stating that, especially the hip hop culture, and see, I've said this before, and my brothers and nephews and shit, man, they jumped down my throat. But he said exactly what I said, and I said this 10 years ago, you know, more than 10 years ago. I said that the hip hop music and culture, there's nothing wrong with it, except when you get people out here that tries to emulate it. And when they try to emulate it, they add other elements to it. You know, like it was one rapper, I can't think of his name. The police was trying to lock this brother up because in some of his music, he talked about shooting and killing and shit like that. And he had to prove that he was just talking shit. You know, that he ain't never done that. But the FBI man was trying to put these cases on him because I guess they got a load of a load of unsolved cases. So they see this nigga singing about it, you know, they thinking, oh hell, he might have did it. You know, let's go, you know, and the brother was in some serious trouble, man. He had to prove to them that all he was doing was making music. And, you know, and they took it literally. So, and if, that's my point. So if the FBI and people would take what you say literally, what you think the kids out here doing? Not only that they're going to take what you say literally, they're going to perform. You understand what I'm saying? You know, they're gonna pick up that gun and shoot up some niggas. You know what I'm saying? And me and Country was talking earlier, and he said he was reading this article that this Jewish ex-rabbi wrote. And he was telling me, but I tried to look for it, but I couldn't find it. He said he saw it on Google and something in Google, but I couldn't find it. But anyway, because I love reading stuff like that. But he said that basically, he was saying, the man saying basically that we're our own worst enemy, you know. And yeah, he's right. I don't think you can make that a racist statement or a bigoted statement because even our own people said, I said, you understand, that we are our own worst enemy. He was stating, Country was stating that the man said that, you know, that the dollar in the Jewish community goes around 18 times before it leaves the community. And the dollar in the black community might go around as much as 5 times. So that means it's quicker to leave, it's slower to come in the neighborhood and quicker to go out the neighborhood. And nobody is really benefiting from it because, like he was saying, that you take your money and you buy all these lavish things that you don't really see other people buy unless they're very, very wealthy. You know, like the Gucci and Prada and whatever those names is. I don't really get into those names, so I don't give a damn about designer shit. But from what Country was telling me, the man was making a good point. And I was telling Country, I said, you know what? He's going to get a lot of backlash from black conservatives, especially black conservatives. Because a lot of black conservatives don't want to see their people succeed. They'll sit there and tell you that. But, you know, they're doing exactly what the white man doing. They make their money off of you. You notice every culture that comes here makes their money off of us. You know. And then to put the nail in the coffin, you people that can't afford to buy that stuff, you know, instead of using that money to help our people as a whole, you'd rather go buy your stuff and stick your fortune in their face. You know, you coming there around with your new car and your bling bling and your teeth fixed and every motherfucking thing, you know, you got the finest of clothes on, you know, and it's so stupid to me that we waste our money. You know, if you people really examine rich people don't spend their money on that shit. Only wealthy people spend their money. You know, and there's a difference. People think rich and wealthy is the same. No. Rich is lower than wealthy. Okay, you got well-to-do, rich, wealthy, and mega rich. Okay, mega wealthy. That's the way I say mega wealthy. And those are people who earn billions of dollars. And people who own billions of dollars, yes, you know, or tens of millions. You know, I say you would have to have at least to live, you know, the lifestyle that a lot of you people want to live. You have to have at least $15, $20 million. You know, because $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, you know, that these days that shit go like that. You know, you buy a nice house and have to pay a mortgage on it or pay a property taxes on it or something like shit. That's your money right there. So I would say you would have to have at least 10, 15, $20 million, you know, to live that life, that type of lifestyle. And You people try to live it, on 50,000, 60,000, $100,000 a year, and it doesn't make any sense when you could be investing that money into your own people. Country said he always, Country said that he also said that he don't understand why the blacks are not putting their money into Africa, where they originally came from, and building into banks and infrastructure and shit. I've been saying that shit for at least 30 years. I've been saying that for at least 30 years. But people would laugh at me when I say that. I used to tell people, what's wrong, man? We could take our money. We don't have to live in Africa, but we could take our money, man, and buy land there, man, and build on the shit and have stores and malls and all kind of bullshit, man, to help the people out, plus help yourself. People used to literally laugh at me. They literally would laugh at me. They be like, man, them Africans and shit, what they gonna do, come out their huts and go to the mall? That's just how limited a lot of them thinking, that they still think that black people live in huts. I mean, the Africans live in huts. And, they see those commercials on TV where the flies be in the kids' eyes and shit like that. I used to believe that shit, but now I truly believe it's staged. I believe there is a degree of that going on, but it's so little and so small because most Africans don't even know about that shit. They be like, where's them people at? I've been all over the motherfucking continent of Africa. Where the hell is them people at? Because usually when you see native people, they live better than the civilized. You see what I'm saying? They eat better and everything else. So unless there's a drought or a war or something like that, which it could be, those are isolated pockets. But we get caught up into that because we think, that's all Africa has to offer. I mean, now more people know, but I'm talking about when I was coming up, I thought Africans lived in huts. I was so naive. I thought they were still gunslingers in Texas and shit like that when I was a kid. I used to see those little weird cartoons, the Western type cartoons and shit like that. Yosemite Sam and all them shit. And I used to think that people still was gunslinging and rustling cattle and, well, I know they still do that in a sense, rustle cattle. But I mean, like they used to see on Rawhide, some shit. Well, for those of you who don't know who Rawhide is, go to YouTube and put in Rawhide. Any of you people that's probably under 40 probably never heard of Rawhide, probably never heard of Gunsmoke and stuff like that. But those shows used to depict the early Western days, before there was, electricity and, I would say for the electricity, for the steam, the steam engine and that kind of stuff, and they showed the harshness and the wildness of the prairie, and they made it seem so romantic and shit. But, if you really think about it, I'm surprised white people even survived in this country because they were so inept to the, what can I say, to the, I don't have a word for it. It won't come to me. They were so inept to the landscape. Okay, there we go. That, if you know your history, even the early pilgrims and shit, man, damn near died off if it wasn't for the Indians. But, go back to my point. A lot of stuff the man said was true, according to what Country told me he said. Because like I said, I looked for the article, I couldn't find it. I gave up looking for it. But in reality, you don't need nobody else to really tell you that if you just sit back and pay attention to what's going on in the world, and it's not getting better, folks. It's getting worse because everybody is being taught to discriminate against you because of the color of your skin. They're being taught that. And then you have your own, well, I call our own, but they're not, that don't mind seeing you being a sheep. Understand what I'm saying? Because they feel like, somewhere down the line, it's going to benefit them as well. I won't be in the slaughterhouse with the rest of the sheep. I'd rather, stand over and watch them be slaughtered than be a part of it. And so you have a lot of people like that. That's why I said that he's going to get a lot of backlash. And like I say, I've had Jewish friends, but like I say, I'm not for their religion. I have my own quarrels about the religion. I have my own quarrels about how you call a religion a race. You know, because being a Jew is not a race. That's another story for another day. But anyway, what he spoke about was true. And it's so true that most people are going to argue against it. You understand what I'm saying? They're going to argue and they're going to say, well, it's not that bad. You know, well, at least you're not here, or at least you're not there. At least you're in the freest country in the world, and you're not really poor because it's people that's suffering, you know, more than you. And to those people that say that kind of stuff, I say, fuck you. That's what I have to say. Because who are you to issue out feelings to somebody? Huh? Who the fuck is you? You understand what I'm saying? You know, some people feel like since they got their niche in the world, you know, well, maybe I shouldn't say it like that. Some people think that by being successful puts them on a higher elevation than me or you or Jack and Blue. You understand what I'm saying? And really they're not. It's a mental thing. You know, combined with the physical things, you know. So when you get this mentality, you know, and you have the material merchandise, you know, I could say, or material things to go with it, you know, it puts you in a mindset that you literally think that you're better. You literally think that you're better than somebody else. But if you look into the soul of most people, especially the wealthy and the well-to-do, their souls, it's got holes in them. You know why? Because they're missing parts of their soul because they gave it up for something else. And they gave it up for something that they didn't have to give it up for, but they thought they did. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so you got these people that's walking around with these holes in their soul. You know, their spirit is weak. You know, but as far as transgression and manifestation, they have mastered those. Okay. See, some people think that certain elements of your reality you can't have without these other elements of your reality, and it's not true, because reality is not fixed. Okay, it's a realm, and in this realm you have the ability basically to do anything. It's really up to the will and the drive and the constitution of the person. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and through that, that's how a lot of people are able to manifest things into their life. Did you know anger could manifest things into your life too? Did you know that? A lot of people, a lot of people don't know that. They don't know that manifestation is a physical thing. It works off the energy of your body, you know. And I'm not going to get into that. That's another time, another day, you know, another story for another time. But just to touch on it a bit, you know, any emotion that can trigger energy can trigger manifestation. Good energy, bad energy, curious energy, just the mere fact that a person could be oblivious to things is a protection, and your body protection. So I said that long story just to say this, that the people in our neighborhoods that really want, the people in our community that really want to see us do well, it's so small. It's minute, because all these other things are hindering and they're loud of speaking. You understand what I'm saying? For the people who really cares about changing things in the world and changing things within our culture, their voice is this small. But a rapper or an actress or a singer or somebody can talk about how big somebody's ass is, and what they want to physically do to them. And people listen to it because you've been programmed, And I tell people this all the time. You can only do this to people that has been programmed. You can't do it to anybody else because it won't work on anybody else. Everybody else will see to it. But if you have 400 years of being programmed, you think you're gonna come out here tomorrow because you have a little money, a little status, or material wealth. You see what I'm saying? And so many people get caught up into that. Damn, it's been going that long. Let me hurry up and cut this short. I'm almost through with the joint. I said I wasn't gonna have long videos, but people get caught up, and so material things, And to me, all I can do is just shake my head because if you knew what I knew, and I'm telling you, I know some things, and I have people in my family and everybody else that are arguing me down, but you can't tell me what I know. That's been spoken to me. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people would rather better tell you, oh, you lying, you don't know what you're talking about. But they be the one that's lying and don't know what they talk about. I know so much about this world and what's going to happen and how it's going to end up and what's going to happen to us as a people that I'm afraid to say it because it'll come off like I'm a lunatic. So what I do, I sit back and I watch. I give little hints. If some of you people that really watch my show and really listen to what I say, I've been giving hints since day one. Since day one, I've been giving hints, And I don't want to bring it out fully because, people's minds are weak, And they would brush it to the side, So, and it's hard to make people understand that you're here to help them. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't have what they think you should have, as far as presenting to them a better life or a better way, because people look to things as guidance for that. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't have a fancy car and a big house and, years of experience in front of a camera or something like that. They would brush me away because they don't think I have the knowledge or the educational skills or the verbal skills, or even the mental skills, to wrap my head around some of these complex issues that they can't seem to wrap their head around. And to me, a lot of things, it just comes naturally. I don't need to read a paper or listen to a reporter or listen to some gossip to know. You understand what I'm saying? I don't need those things. I can tell you what's going to happen before it happens. And I have told you that already in numerous occasions, But nobody's listening. But that's not going to stop me from saying it. And there's certain things I can't say because I know what type of people that I'm dealing with. And there are people that search for... No, I'm not going to say that. There are people that look for signs in life. And to cut this thing short and off, all signs are not physical. Some signs, are I don't want to say that word. Some signs are not physical, and some signs are ethereal. You understand what I'm saying? And you have to understand which is which. And you have to learn that when you're being talked to listen. That's all I have to say about that. So, I know that was a weird conversation. But people who understand will understand what I'm talking about. It's not for everybody to understand because, like I say, people are so willing and in a hurry to brush off things you say, because reality hurts And as long as you can stay in a fake reality or your made reality, you don't want to hear no shit nobody like me got to say, because it might hurt your feelings. So, for our weed cosmetic candy, which is a very another strange name, we're going to go with the smell. And the smell, since I still have it out, like I say, it's very, very unique. It's like a hint of sweetness, a hint of grassy, a hint of wang, a hint of, something sour. It's really kind of mixed up there. But the overall smell, I'm going to give it a 7. Taste. Now, that's night and day. The taste is night and day. The taste is mellow. Okay, it's not harsh, no chemical taste, no aftertaste. Matter of fact, it leaves a nice taste, almost like a fresh feeling. It's probably why I can smell that little pine going on in there, But it's almost like a fresh feeling, like you've eaten, an Altoid or something, like that. And it's a very pleasant taste, very pleasant. So I'm gonna give the taste a 9. Flavor. Okay, it's not terrible. There's too many things mixed up in there, and they're not coming together to me. You get patches of it, you get patches of it here, patches of it there, and that's not really enjoyable to me, But in saying that, the flavor's not terrible. Okay, so there's some combinations that's working. I just can't figure them out. But it's not terrible, it's palatable, and I would give the flavor a 7 as well. Okay, the texture, which I didn't discuss. It's a tad gummy, and then once I break it down, it easily breaks down into dust, into powder. So I don't like that at all. So for me, see, it's a totally different smell. Weird. That smells like a leather shoe, like a sweet leather shoe. But the texture, which is good, I'm going to give it an 8. It's not up to my standards, but it's a decent texture. Buzz or high. You ain't getting no buzz off this weed. It goes straight to high, and it's a high end of the high. So I'm gonna give the high. I'm gonna give a high on buzz or high. I'm gonna give it a 7. Point of peak. That's very easy to describe. It was like 2 or 3 tokes down the joint. That's nothing. So point of peak is up there. I'm gonna give it a 9. Accessibility. Yeah, it's a lot of it out there. You ask for it. Like I said, my girl's selling it, but she says it's all over the place. So you ask for some cosmetic candy, you will be pleasantly surprised. So I'm gonna give accessibility a 10. Quality. Overall quality, I have to say it's good. It's good smell, decent taste, decent flavor, decent texture. Okay, everything's decent. Really good high, really good buzz and high. So the overall quality, I'm going to give it a decent score. I'm going to give it an 8. Potency. Okay, it's strong, but it's like one of those quick strongs. You know what I'm saying? It's not long lasting because it's so busy getting you high. But the potency is strong, but it's nothing. I've had way stronger potency. But for this particular weed, the potency is good. And so I'm going to get a potency also an 8. Okay, and coughability. There will be coughability, folks. You can believe that. There will be coughability. And for you guys that smoke them big J's and all that kind of stuff, I would put the coughability as a 5. A respectable 5. So, we gave the smell a 7. We gave the taste a 9. We gave the flavor a 7. We gave the texture a 8. We gave buzz and high a 7. We gave the point of peak a 9. We gave accessibility a 10. We gave quality a 8. We gave potency also a 8. And we gave coughability a 5. And that equals, we got a 78, folks. Which is a very good. And would we buy try this again? The answer is a big old yes. So for today, February, the month of February, 2022, our cosmetic candy gets a 78. And that's a really good score. I mean, it's almost up there with the best of the best, you know. I might have been a little biased on a couple of other things, but I judge it to how I feel about it because, see, the high is one thing, but you know, I judge everything. I know some people just smoke weed just to get high, but for me, it's always an experience. It's always a trip. It's always a journey, and I take that journey, you know, and I scrutinize every little part of it. So, you know, to make it, you know, to make you understand how enjoyable smoking marijuana could be. It don't have to be a druggy thing like we look at it all. You know how people look at it all the time. You know, it's enjoying. It's like people who like to smoke tobaccos. There are people who like to smoke different brands of tobaccos. They get a kick out of that. There's people who like to chew different brands of gum. It's, you know, people who like to drink different types of wine. This all fits in the same category. You know, it's a part of relaxing, entertainment, and enjoyment. You know, so and that's what I try to get you people to leave with every time I have these shows. You know, it's not just about getting high, even though we want to get high. It's not just about getting high. It's the whole journey that you can appreciate, and you can have others appreciate it too. So, folks, I'm going to end this show. I want to thank you for stopping by here and spending some time with me. I appreciate the love, you know, and don't forget to get those thumbs up and those likes, you know, and help a brother out with the show and help it grow. So until the next time we meet, God bless, toke freely, and bye-bye.